Give me 1 second to get these videos. How we doing, man? How's everything? We live anyway. We're talking.
No, or downstairs.
What's up, Uncle Felix in the house? But first, I want to thank Polo Bankers, Coastal Homes, Mark Wright. Give Mark a call at 401-787-5203, and also R&R Elite Recruits. If you're looking to get recruited, you should definitely give Ronnie and his team over there a call. Here's their flyer. They'll definitely hook you up. Over 3,000 schools available. But what's going on, Felix? How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Nothing much. How you doing?
I see all these people tuning in. Like I never seen this many people jump on at one time. Man, crazy. What's up, man? How's everything?
All right.
How's the boy doing up there, UMass? Huh? Pretty good.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's adjusting well. I think he had his first day of classes today. They've been there for almost a month now or something like that. But now they're actually going to class and and now reality's kicking in. Now he is truly a student athlete.
Yes, he is. Coach McCormick was on the other day, and I noticed that you cut the clip out of it talking about Shine. Just like anytime someone talks about Shine, you had two good ball players, but Coach McCormick was just saying, what how impressed they all are with Shine.
hmm Yeah, he's been doing good. I know they were high on him when they recruited him there, and I always told them you got to live up to the expectations. Now you can't just go in there just because obviously they like you because they recruited you, but you can't go over there and disappoint. You got to live up and pass expectations.
No,
And
he's
so far
definitely.
so good.
Yeah, I'm glad. We have a lot of Rhode Island kids that are actually going to college right now. We got a boatload of Rhode Island kids that are in college right now. And at one time, you would hear once in a while somebody moving on, but now we got kids moving on at record numbers.
Yeah, I don't think we can no longer say there's a stigma for Rhode Island players just because like you just said we're starting to see the numbers really increase now of Rhode Island players going on to play college ball.
Yeah, I think Stonehill has four, Brown
Yeah,
has four, Notre Dame, UMass Dotman has like 25. So and there's other schools as well.
oh yeah, and I know Endicott has three. Hudson I know has at least two that I can think off of the top of my head. I think Salve has one or has a couple. Um, obviously Xavier Trust down in Georgia,
Yeah.
Anye over at Notre Dame. Those are the big ones. We also have Picard over at Villanova. Um, and as a
And
matter of
what's
fact,
the
a couple
Poirier
weeks ago,
kid from NK? Remember
who?
Poirier?
Oh, he's in New Hampshire. Yep,
A
he's in New
lot of
Hampshire.
kids. St. Lawrence. We have the kid from Coventry
Yeah,
last
Will
season, the
Turner's there.
quarterback.
You also got the kid over at Navy from LaSalle. Um, a couple of days ago, Angel Sanchez from Hendricken, he played his first game at Tabor College over in Kansas. So we're spread out. We're all over the place, and I believe the the twins there from Johnston, their last name is Diggs or Duggs, something like that. The 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 twins
Yeah, I can't.
out of Johnston, but they're both over at I believe it's a JUCO school in California.
There's so many great
Stubbs,
players.
that's what their name is, Stubbs.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay. There's so
Yeah.
many great players throughout Rhode Island football right now. The class of 2023 is amazing.
Hmm.
It's just what St. Ray's has put together with that class they have, and them kids coming out of them camps for their age, they have a different mindset.
Yeah, that St. Ray's team's going to be tough to beat in Division Two. Um, they got to be the early favorite, but hey, that's why they play the game. So we'll see.
Division 4 is starting to smoke up, man. Division 4 is really, really starting to heat up with Situate, Pontiac, EWG. Like, I really think that them three teams right there, I think are gonna be. I think you're gonna see some smoke.
Yeah, hopefully we get a full season. I'm not too happy already. With week one.
Not
Well, I
even
know,
week
I
one.
know it's injury fun, but here we are already dealing with this COVID nonsense, and hopefully it's not going to be the beginning of a trend.
Well, yeah, tickets went on sale yesterday, and games still weren't canceled at that point. And then I hear, LaSalle, Hendricken, that game gets canceled.
Mm,
Hendricken ends up getting a scrimmage with East Providence, but East Providence and Central Falls had to back out. Now Westerly and K, North Smithfield can't play.
yeah,
So yeah, a lot of games already scratched.
yeah, and it's just I wish I could say I'm confident that we'll have a full season, but obviously I'm not, thanks to recent history.
Exactly, and it's a long season, and I don't even blame teams for fast to back out because why let their players get hurt and risk a long season? This game don't benefit. I mean, they need field time, but it's a long season.
Yeah, it is a long season. As long as we have that long season, you know what I mean.
So is
But
this COVID or is this with the rule changes not being able to have scrimmages beforehand and just coaches don't want to put their kids on the line?
yeah, I'm not sure of the rule changes. If
Well, no
that's
scrimmages,
if that's the
no.
case, that's silly. You know what I mean? These kids need. To be honest with you, like a football officially started in Rhode Island August 15th. You know what I mean? And then you got to go. I believe it's 5 or whatever days with pads. Before you can even get your equipment, and then you're gonna have the kids play literally a few days after that. It's dangerous in my opinion. Like they should be able to start a lot sooner. They should be able to have all the scrimmages, that they can fit in, if they want, just to prep their bodies for it. Like it's not football's not really a sport you can just turn on and off. You gotta ease your way into it.
All the St. Ray's kids said that when football ended last season, football doesn't end. They go right into training. They go right into passing league. You had breakthrough. What Stanley Dunbar had going on over there. Next year is going to be even better.
Hmm.
But football don't end for a lot of these kids. But teams weren't allowed to have scrimmages. I mean, this week is the first week I actually hear of teams even allowed to scrimmage. So not having scrimmages, not having joint practices, I think teams are not ready.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, it's tough to get ready. I mean, even if you even if you're out there a month in advance, you know what I mean. All the plays you got to put in, and I mean, football is just a sport that's very time consuming, especially in regards to being prepared for it. So to rush everything in 2 weeks, it's not. It's a recipe for disaster.
And what other games I think I see the East Providence Central Falls game. Central Falls coming off a long season now. That game's canceled between them and East Providence.
Hmm.
I mean, a big off season because they did not play, nor did Woonsocket, as we heard the journal tell us 3 times this week.
Yep. Yeah. Your son doing over there?
Oh, my son, he's doing all right. You know, they gave him a little help, but they gave him Bill Koch. You know, they said, "Boy, you need some help." You know, what I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? You know, I just hope that you know what they say, hustle inspires hustle,
Yep.
and I hope he has an excellent season, and I hope we see the best reporting from the Providence Journal covering football this year. If
Yeah,
I did my job.
I agree. Like I read an article recently by him where it seems like almost he was admitting to not doing a great job. So hopefully he will ship up or ship out. You know what I mean? Because right now he's not an asset to Rhode Island football, not at all.
No, definitely, and I think that's why he has Bill Koch. That's going to be covering a lot of teams, you know. But I'm sure he made his phone calls the other day, and I'm sure he got forwarded by a few teams. But you know, God bless, man. I love Eric Rube, Eric Rubb, whatever his name is. But you know,
He's
I
your
just
son.
hope
Your son, you gotta love him.
that's right. Exactly. Exactly. You know what I mean? You have to love them. But we're going into the injury fund this week, man. You know, excited football's here. I'm glad we had a short off season.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. You know what I mean? I think the Super Bowl was played in May, and here we are getting ready to start up another season. I can't wait to see what the season has in store for us. Should be exciting.
Now, Tiverton originally, I believe, was going to play North Smithfield, but now they are actually going to play Mount Hope. What do you think about that matchup?
Well, I like that's an interesting matchup. Is because is that going to be is that actually a cross conference game? Because I don't think
Um,
the same or did
no,
Mount Vernon go
I
down?
yeah, I think they're in three.
Oh, so Mount Hope moved down to three because I
I
thought they.
believe so. Yeah, I'm
Ooh.
not sure. It don't say it right here, and I don't have it up in front of me, but it don't say it's a non-league, and usually, well, it don't matter because it's a injury fund, so
Oh, the injury.
maybe none of them say it. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
mean, but
right. Yeah, right. That matchup there, I would have to say I would have to lean towards Mount Hope just because they've been in Division Two ever since I can remember, ever since they became, I think, Mount Hope, because that used to be obviously Warren, correct? Warren and
yes, it was. Yeah, Warren and Bristol. Yeah,
right.
yeah. I actually read. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 'cause when I played back when they had leather helmets, they
That long ago.
they had it was the Warren Redskins, I believe, or something like that, and
Yeah.
and then they changed after I graduated is when they made that change over to the Mount Hope Huskies. But them being the bigger school, obviously you got to lean that way, and just because they're used to that Division Two matchup. And I know Tiverton last year struggled, but it's a new year, so we'll see. We'll see what their young guys, who are now becoming upperclassmen, we'll see what they can do.
Well, I think it is Warren because Buddy Alves that just passed away. He held the scoring record, I think, for like 50 years or decades with like 206, 210 points, and I think a kid named Jojo Jamal, if I'm not mistaken, right? And I can't believe I could even. Who's this? Who is North Smith? North Smithfield is not playing. North Smithfield, they just got back to practice today because of COVID. So as far as I know, North Smithfield's game it should be canceled on the schedule, which it's not. But I confirmed from North Smithfield's coach that they weren't even allowed to practice because of COVID. So that's what I know about that. I think they were originally supposed to play Tiverton, but because of the COVID issues, yeah, Coach Piva, shout out to him. Already new coach coming in up against the gun, man. But
Yeah,
he was led by Wes Pennington, so
yeah, he was on the staff my last couple of years there, so that I'm very familiar with him. The North Smithfield's in very good hands. They'll be fine.
all right, where all right, so Tolman oh yeah, so Jojo Jamal and ended up tying Al's record, for the most points scored in the league, and I think they share it with like I think it's 206 points that they shared, and I think Alice would have broke the record in West Warwick, but he got hurt his senior season. But it's a pretty amazing story. I know my high school football, so even in the 50s. Who else we got? Tolman and Woonsocket.
That should be a good one, especially when Saki must be chomping at the bit to get back on the field.
Oh
And
yeah, they
those teams, Woonsocket actually, I think they up in Division 1 now. Um, and Tolman's been really good over there in Division 2, and they were in Division 1 a few years ago as well. But I don't know, I know a lot of the players over in Woonsocket. Their quarterback is a stud. He played for me at in FBU Tark, and I think they're going to do a lot better than people think this year in Division 1.
yes, young team. Shout out Coach B-Ball over there, back to back championships. I'll check on that Pontigansa game in a second as soon as I get down on the schedule. But yeah, Coach B-Ball definitely has a young team. He's always bringing them boys out, and boys, if you're coming from one socket, man, you tough. So Coach B-Ball is bringing a tough team.
Yeah, no, I like what he's done there, and he obviously gets the kids to respond. So, kudos to him and what he's doing there. Let's see if he can keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, we'll see. That's why they play the game, right?
Yes, sir.
EWG playing, which this matchup, EWG and Narragansett, ever since Coach Fulton came in, they've been playing great games. I even think they have a Thanksgiving Day game thing going on. Narragansett taking Coach Fulton's 5-foot trophy. That is Coach Cook on my way. Oh, how you doing, Coach Cook? What's going on? I don't know. I heard North Smithfield. He said that his kids can't play, so he said he wasn't playing. He confirmed that. He said they weren't even allowed to practice. So as far as I know, North Smithfield isn't playing. But the EWG and Narragansett matchup.
Yeah, that should be another good one. I would lean towards Narragansett. Number 21 there is a special kid. I know he's being recruited by UMass Dartmouth, so they already made him an offer actually. Um, and he does a lot of things well for them. They're coming off winning the Super Bowl down there, so they're the defending champs. So we'll see what they can do this year.
Okay, then Situate, North Providence at Johnston High School. Coach, the Spartans, had it very tough the last couple of years. Coach D out there, Coach D'Souza really seems to be motivating them guys.
Yeah, and North Providence as well has also been having it tough the past few years. So we'll see which program is ready to turn the corner there.
Yeah, definitely. It is a shame. It is gonna happen all year. We had Coach Cook is in the comment section. Trying to do his diligence over there at Pontiganset. So how you doing, Coach? But yes, it's definitely gonna happen all season
I
long.
hope I hope I hope not, but I think Coach Cook is right.
We're already going into it like we ain't even, and this benefits the league. This game, the teams definitely need to play, but so I'm sure they're not happy about this. I'm sure the ADs are all hearing about it. Charahoe and SK. Charahoe second year coach. I think it's Coach Rosso. I think his name is Rosso Grasso. Anyway, Charahoe playing SK. What
Yeah,
do you think of?
SK is solid. Uh, they got the Hazard there. I can't think of his first name. I coached him as well in FBU. He's just a tough kid, and he he's very fast for his size. So you can't let him fool you. The key to stopping him is obviously, you got to stop him before he gets going. But if he gets ahead of steam, he is tough to break. He is tough to bring down. And even on the defensive end, he's the type of kid that can take over a game all by himself if he gets rolling. He's going to keep South Kingston in a lot of games this year. Just through his individual play. So either way, I would have to lean towards SK on that one anyway.
And according to the league, and I'm going off, this is all what the league said. This is on their actual website, the schedule. So if we're wrong, hey, and these are only opinions. Portsmouth and Rogers High School. And Portsmouth is actually in the decade's top 20 schools, and I think they're right behind you guys.
Yeah, Portsmouth is they put a good product in every year in and year out. They got a special player there in Ben Hurd. He's a quarterback. He led them actually to the state championship game his sophomore year. Last year, that team was decimated due to COVID issues, and they really never even really got going. You know what I mean? So this year, it'll be interesting to see what they can do with a full year under their belt. And Benny Hurd's a senior now, under the center, so he's going to be tough to stop.
Yeah, Portsmouth is definitely always in the conversation, and
Yeah,
Rogers, Rogers been.
they've had some great players. Let me tell you, like I don't know if you remember Mike Cloud.
Oh,
Uh,
I heard the name. Yes, they
yeah,
talk about him quite often.
he went on to play for the Patriots. He was originally drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. He spent a few years in the NFL. I know he was on the Giants, the Patriots, the Chiefs. He excellent player, obviously, in Portsmouth. I think we graduated actually the same year, back in '94. But he was
And
definitely a great player.
and Rogers, historically has had great football teams for a long time. Rogers was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they were.
You know what it was? They used to have the naval base down there in Rhode Island, so they used to get a lot of those players, um, that were coming in. The children of the parents. Unfortunately, you don't see that anymore.
No, definitely not. The next game we're gonna see Barrington and Middletown. Middletown going down to Division 3. Barrington coming off a Super Bowl win with 25 players on their roster. They had that triple run option versus Moses Brown, which that's Moses Brown red letter game right there. When
You,
we get to that point in the
I think
season.
you mean St. Ray's, right?
I'm sorry, but I always do that. Yeah, that's St. Ray's red letter game. For some
Yeah.
reason, so close together. But definitely St. Ray's red letter game. When I had the kids on the other day, Moses, Chris Molina, Andre DePina Gray, I asked them all, Napoleon, is that your game? Do you want that game? I like Napoleon's full of spice, man. He was
Yes.
very spicy.
Yeah, I coached him and as well as a bunch of those St. Ray's kids as well on the FBU team. They're going to be more than ready. I'm sure they're chomping at the bit. Um, Unfortunately for Barrington, they're going to be caught. Obviously, like you just said, they lost over 20 seniors. You know what I mean? So um, we'll see what kind of team they bring out this year. As much as they're making it their red letter game, obviously it's not the same team they'll be playing.
No, it definitely isn't, but I know there's some revenge. I mean, Barrington's down to, from what I've seen, has a very young class coming in. And
Mhm.
the only kids that, I mean, Anderson, I think he was very good for the last couple of seasons. I can't really think of his first name, but, and that kid, Ivets. I think Ivets and Anderson, are going to be two big factors of what happens to Barrington High School.
Mhm.
And I think that kid Ivet's like he plays that motion so well. Like he could. I watched some film on him. He could sell that motion
Uh, that,
wherever he is.
tough. That's a tough offense. If you're not disciplined on defense and you allow that offense to get rolling, it's tough to stop.
Shout out my guy Blake Simpson. The next game, Pilgrim High School playing EG. Pilgrim going down to Division 3. Pilgrim asking EG asking to go to 2, staying in 1. Runner up last, they played Central last season.
Yeah, they had a great season last year, and they got a really good quarterback there, and uh, Park. What's his last name?
Oh,
The
what was
back.
it, Durand or Dumfrey or
Oh,
no?
Dumfries Barrington. What's Park's last name? Anyway, their quarterback Park. He's a great baller. He played for me in FBU. He was part of the team that came down to Florida with us. He's really good. The unfortunate part about EG this year is that their offensive line is going to be very young. So it's going to depend on how those guys can hold up front. Will determine on their season because they got one hell of a quarterback there. That's for sure. Probably, definitely a top 3 or 4 QB in the state, if you ask me.
Yeah, I like the kid Jalen Dennis at Classical.
My son Sincere just informed me it's Park Herdasky. That's his name.
Oh yes, I couldn't actually. I read his name and I was like,
Yeah,
how am I gonna?
I
I can't
actually
say
had,
that. I don't.
I actually had him as player or quarterback of the week a couple of times during the short season over on my Rhode Island ranked page.
I think he finished second in the state.
Did he? Yeah, he's
Yeah, I think Jalen Dennis. Then it was him, and if I remember, it was the Remington kid at Johnston, and I can't remember the fourth guy, but I know the fifth guy was Deuce Addison with 666 yards.
yeah.
What
Again,
a number! He couldn't get one more yard. Shout
yeah.
out Deuce Addison and shout out Jay Addison, his father. Getting a job at Mount Pleasant High School.
Mhm.
And young quarterback. All right, where are we? Let's get back to here. Coach Penn, West Warwick Wizards, man. Really getting them kids worked up, got them working in the shoot. Playing Tollgate.
Nice. I'm I'm going to be a little biased here and go with the Wizards because I love what Pennington's going to bring to the table. Um, if anything, their offense is always going to be fun to watch, and he's very innovative in what he does on offense. Um, Great football mind over there, and it's going to be fun watching him operate on a bigger platform. As we all know, he was over in North Smithfield for many years. Not to knock North Smithfield, but they don't get the numbers out there, and it's a little tougher to find athletes. And he somehow took that program, turned it around, built it into basically they were a Division 4 powerhouse, and then they got bumped up to Division 3, and he still brought them to the playoffs. Kudos to West Pennington for that. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do in West Warwick.
They have had some pretty. Their 2019 team was pretty good. 20 seniors. They have had some decent classes, but yeah, numbers are definitely high, and I think they're still co-oping with Mount St. Charles. I
Mm-hmm.
might be wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't sue me. you know. But yeah, shout out to West Pennington, and he's turned that program around. I mean, it's no secret that the dude that was there, like that, like come on now, that place was a wreck, and just what he's already done with that program. The assistants are all in over there. Busting out the nice uniforms for the kids. He's really doing fundraisers. West Pennington is what they need, and I seen a picture of him today with big angel wings, and I
Oh, yeah.
said, they sent this giant angel of West Warwick.
He's a soldier of the Lord. So he's definitely a good guy, and he's definitely the right person for the job.
And check out West Pennington's Facebook page. He has I think it's on 9/11. I might be mistaken. He has a men's ministry breakfast. And definitely shout out to him for trying to reach the youth and having these programs. But definitely go on Coach Pennington's page. Sometimes he's around here stalking the channel. I know because it says he's my top fan. But he definitely is my guy, man. Shout out Wes Pennington. So let's go down. Let's see. Cranston East, new coach, Coach McDaniels. I think Isaiah McDaniels. A lot of people talk highly. I think he was with the basketball program. I think Cranston East waited a little too long to hire a coach. Playing Moses Brown.
Yeah, Cranston East, yeah, they did take a long time to make that hire. Well, they got the right person for the job. I'm not really familiar with who they hired. Moses Brown. They have a great quarterback there playing for them. I'm not familiar with who they have, coming up as upperclassmen. So this will be an interesting game, a good feeler to see, what these teams are going to do for the season.
I noticed, how great of a man Coach Willie Edwards is to know, when he was at that Moses Brown, like he wore many hats and he did that program justice. And you know how hard it is when he left. You've seen the difference. Not
Yeah,
saying anybody was any worse than him, but he did great for that program.
he definitely did. He turned that program around, and he kept them at a high level for many years. And then as soon as he left, that program definitely felt it. You know, kudos to him. I know he's doing his thing on the recruiting end now. He's over at Brown, I believe, right?
Yes, he is, man. He's at Brown. He brings in Coach Quayway. Well, not him, Coach Perry. Brings in Coach Quayway over there. They have four Rhode Island kids, and Coach Edwards said, it's not like that's the plan to go out and get Rhode Island kids. He said, but if you have the grades and you could ball, hit me up on Twitter.
There you go.
But he'll take them. You
Ivy
know,
Ivy League football is definitely a different breed.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job. And Brian doing the same thing, bringing in Cy Butler. You know, um, we already know about Ryan. We had Ryan on the. I explained that earlier, but we got some good recruiters in this area. Stonehill recruits hard here. St. Lawrence. You got Bridgewater. You know, Brown University. So it's stepping up. It's stepping up.
No, it really, it really is, and that's a testament to these kids here playing Rhode Island football. You know what I mean? They're showing their thing. They're showing what they can do.
This next game, you could actually see it on fans only. Shout out Ronnie and his team over there. Coventry High School, Super Bowl winners, Coach Goodhart, Coach Cop over there, Cranston West. And of course, it'll be at Cranston West, that beautiful turf they got over there. But definitely watch that game on Fans Only Sports for sure.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Should be an interesting one. Um, we'll see who comes up on that one. I'm leaning towards Coventry, to be honest with you. They were so dominant last year, um, so it's tough to go against them. Cranston West definitely took a step back last year, so it'll be interesting to see how they rebound this year. This year here.
Definitely. And now I want to let everyone know that you can actually watch this on fansonlysports.com, so
Yeah,
definitely go
and
check
you know
that
what?
out.
They do a great job with those games, with the commentary and and obviously the visual. They do a great job there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ronnie, he put a team together and he's really working,
He
you
is. He really
know?
is.
He's really working, he's got the Naked Sports going, he's got the R&R Elite Recruits page, which we're gonna bring them guys on very soon, and we're gonna actually have the website up on the podcast, and he's gonna so parents can say, what is this website about? He's gonna break down the information on the different schools, how many, all everything that goes into it. So Ronnie and his team are doing a great job.
Yeah, kudos to him. Anything that could help these kids get more exposure is a great thing.
Definitely. Cumberland. Let's just Cumberland High School and Lincoln. Lincoln's close to your house. I see on your daily walk sometimes. Does it ever bring you to Lincoln High School?
Yeah, I did actually about a week or so ago. I was over there. I was doing my routine, and the boys were actually doing this. Two,
That'd be a good segment. My daily walk, man. You should do a live stream. My daily walk.
it's tough. I'm still trying to build myself up back from the surgeries and the car accident. So walking is the best I can do right now.
Yeah, God bless you, man. I got and of course he has, and I'm sure he'll continue to bless you and your family.
Amen. Amen. But it's funny when I played my senior year in Lincoln. That's who our fun game was against was Cumberland. Um, and looking at the way these teams finished last year, Lincoln. We'll see. They might be struggling this year again, and Cumberland should be very strong with that class. I'm very familiar with that class because my son played youth football in Cumberland, and it's a very strong class that they had a strong class last year, and they should have another strong class this year.
Now the next game is says Smithfield versus Juanita Sanchez, but I know when Coach Cook asked me about that. I thought he said that they were supposed to play Pano. Yes, he did say that. And I look on the leagues on the Interscholastic League. It says Smithfield was supposed to play Juanita Sanchez, but I know that game was scratched. So
Hmm.
I'm not sure about that. I know this says that, and I know Coach Piva did say that game is scratched. So we don't even. I mean, Juanita Sanchez, they're in a mess of themselves. They had a chance to get a great coach, and Coach Nadeem. He came on here publicly, talked about his situation. Last year Juanita Sanchez, they barely had 15, 16 kids showing up. Coach Nadeem's first day, I think they had 22 kids as signups. The school gave him the job. The superintendent, the AD, the principal. It gets to City Hall and it gets kicked back because he has a 26-year-old drug conviction.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, the guy he's obviously paid his debt to society. One. Two, in my opinion, unless you were convicted for something that endangering children, like pedophilia or any contributing to a delinquency of a minor, something like that, then I could see them holding that against you. You know what I mean? But anything else, I really don't see why they would hold that against them. And a lot of times these guys, you know, who grew up on the street, they're able to better reach the kids and better explain to them all the reasons why they shouldn't do what they did. You know what I mean, to get them in that situation. So I feel like they took something that could have been a positive and just destroyed it before it could even begin.
And yes, I do stand corrected. You're right. I made the mistake with Smith. One of someone out. They said Smithfield and North Smithfield are two different schools. Yes, exactly. And I apologize. Coach Fortin's out there. He said that he hopes more games don't get canceled. And yeah, we were talking about that early on. Coach Cook was talking about that. He said it's a shame, and oh, yeah, it's gonna happen. Oh yeah, all right, that's the right one. Yeah, it definitely is a shame. So we got Coach Cook in the section. We got Coach Fortin. Two Division 4 teams that I think are gonna mount up again. Both these guys, pretty much the best game last season. Both these teams were involved. It came down to the end. I think there was like a triple fumble at the end, but a lot of people say that was one of the best games that they've seen all year.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get to see it, but I know I kept an eye on what was going on in Division 4 there, and there was definitely some highly contested games. So it should be. It seems like it's going to be wide open. It could be almost anybody's division this year.
We'll see. On Johnston High School playing EWG Prout versus Ponagansett, best game in the state. You know what? Shout out Coach Fortin. Always got that smoke, boy. Oh, he said but that was a good game, man. I'm not even gonna like that was a good game.
Yeah, should be good. I mean, I know Pondigance's got a young running back there who did a lot of damage last year, but he was also behind a really good line, and I know that offensive line took a little hit this year, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Hendy's getting bigger, and other lines are taking hits. The Radcliffe, I believe Radcliffe's going over there to Hendricken. So we'll see what happens. And teams have ups and downs. You win some, you lose some. Different parts of your staff gets
High
moved
school,
around.
high school football sometimes can be very unpredictable because you never know what certain kids are doing on the offense. You know what I mean? You never know who's ready to take that big step to the next level and just be a major contributor. I mean, a year makes such a huge difference with a lot of these kids. You could have a 15, 16-year-old kid who, the light just hasn't clicked yet. And all of a sudden now he's 17, 18, and it's clicked, and that kid's going to be a big problem. You know what I mean? So it can be very unpredictable.
Well, you see that in between seasons. You see a junior go to a senior, and that short off season. Rarely you see the difference in the kid's growth. So these
Mm-hmm.
EWG said they graduated 12 seniors. You go, Coach Thornton. You keep graduating them seniors. You send a kid to D2 this year. That's what's up. Who
Nice.
else sent kids to D2? Somebody actually got upset at me. They said, "Oh, you're always talking about EWG and and Westerly." I said, "Well, maybe if your school would communicate with me instead of being afraid to talk to me, maybe I could talk about these kids a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Central. I know what's going on at Central because they communicate with me, but like, I
Yeah,
ain't out to hurt anybody.
no, and in the age of social media, there's no excuse. Rhode Island is so small. You know what I mean? We're basically one giant community. I know that's what I try to portray on my Rhode Island rank page. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be starting to do some interviews as well. You know what I mean? And put interview content on that page, and just to get everybody familiar with each other and just promote Rhode Island football in general. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make it about one team or even two or three teams. It's got to be everybody. You know what I mean? We got a rising tide lifts all ships. You know what I mean? We have to promote these kids and get them seen and hopefully get them onto the next level.
And we're doing a good job there. You're doing a good job. That Rhode Island rank page, I get a lot of content from you, and I end up resharing your stuff. You talked about Randy Moss's son. Where's he in Cincinnati?
He's in Cincinnati. I'm not sure if he made that final cut yet. I haven't actually taken a look to see. But hopefully he did anyway. He's trying to be a tight end there. Obviously, he's got the pedigree, so we'll see if he can make an impact in the NFL. But obviously, like his dad did.
Yeah, I mean, we also got his that dude was somebody said Tyreek Hill was the best deep threat in the NFL. I was like,
No,
excuse me, like, have you never watched a young Randy Moss?
uh, even an old Randy Moss
Yes, an old Randy Moss. Like,
was
have
in
you
New England,
never?
when he was in New England there, and I think he caught 25 touchdown passes with Tom Brady hurling him the ball.
But
And
he did some
that
special things in Minnesota. He
yeah,
did. He made some he just made some above yeah, he did great things in New England, but he like what he did in Minnesota in his young days, like
he made Culpepper look like a stud.
yes. And who threw to him before him? There's four divisions. Don't forget, give love to more. I've been talking about all the teams, not just D1 team. What are you talking about, Coach Fortin, man? Stop it. Don't you got some play to look, some film to cut up or something, man? That's my guy, yo. He good people, man. All right, let's get on to some. Of course, the next team, of course, Burrville, Coach Ferraro doing incredible things with them kids. Coach Ferraro said that I got 13 players sophomore up. I got 20 freshmen, and he's in D1.
Hmm.
He always brings it though. His guy, yeah, see, Coach Fortin, good dude, man. There you D1, Elliot. Yep, there I go. Well, I gotta go in line. I got like ADD, and if I start skipping shit, you know what I mean, it's gonna be tough to go
Well,
back to.
here's the problem: D4 has about 8 teams, where D1 has about 15 teams. so, so the coverage is automatically going to be 2-1.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But they're gonna be playing Johnston High School. They sent Zednik up to yeah. No, Jesse Johnston is in D1 though. Coach Martin, you always forget D4. I'll never forget D4. I show D4 love. Now I know this, but all three of you are probably all D4 people in the room. You know what I mean? I know Coach Fortin's here. We have, I think I seen Coach Cook coming incognito. But Johnson High School winning the Super Bowl. Zednik, I said I tried to get it out of Coach McCormick. I said, "Can you tell me if he's going to be a true freshman starter?" And Coach McCormick, man,
Plays it close to
he's
the vest.
he's tight he's tight-lipped, man. Oh, I know that, dog. Come on now, that goes without saying. Coach McCormick is yeah, he keeps pretty tight, but that kid Zednik, I think he's going to make an impact this year.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's a weapon. I mean, his height, his speed, his hands. He's gonna, and with the quarterback that they have there this year, uh, actually be a nice Rhode Island to Rhode Island connection with Steve Gay, such obviously being from Tiverton and Zedek from Johnston. Um, as you already said, they got 25 Rhode Island kids on there.
They're loaded.
They're loaded. They're loaded, and Zednik, I think he'll. From what I've seen, and I went up there to see the scrimmage when they played against WPI. I saw Zednik make a few catches there, so I think he's gonna. We're definitely gonna hear his name on Saturdays.
And since you have to write a check to UMass Dartmouth, you're automatically a Corsairs fan now.
Yes,
You
I
know,
am.
definitely go Corsairs. But I had Aaron Perez on the other day, because I wanted to bring some college players on and talking about making their transition from high school to college, and maybe we can inspire some other kids to make that move and what the difference is. And he's like, sign language, hand signals. He was like, oh my god, this is like, this is incredible. So oh, and what I was getting at is he got around to telling me that 2 in the morning they can get delivery to their dorm room.
Must be nice. I'm
Yeah,
glad
they
money's
have.
going to something.
There you go. Right? Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure Shine knows about that, but maybe he didn't let you know about the meal plan. They have a great meal plan.
Yeah, he's always telling me how great the food is there.
Yeah, and even Coach McCormick said it's just unbelievable. All right, let's get on with this. Shea High School doing a great job. Shout out Coach Camp, Coach Torres, Coach Murray. We had the conversation the other day. Should Pawtucket have one high school, but they're going to be playing St. Ray's.
Yeah, that should be a nice rivalry game. Obviously, with all the kids from Pawtucket there.
That's always a great
Um,
Pawtucket game.
yeah, I don't think Pawtucket needs to go into one high school. I mean, that would be one huge high school.
Well, they got same
But
numbers as East Providence. They got similar numbers as other towns that have one high school.
really, I didn't
Yeah,
know. I
if you look
thought.
at the demographics, that's what Coach Mike Murray was saying, that Pawtucket has similar numbers to East Providence,
Hmm.
other towns that have one high school. He said, give us one high school, put us D1 everything. He
Yeah.
said, we're taking it all. That would be a tough. If you have one Pawtucket high school, imagine Shea and Tom. Oh my goodness, man!
Mm.
Like, I think that would be amazing if they can get along.
Yeah, yeah. It would be good. I just don't see the need for it, but yeah.
Yeah, one building, but Saint raised this year. Young kids, some really really young ballers.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I coached a lot of those kids um, that were juniors last year, and this year they're seniors. I know Ray Martinez is who was on the coaching staff there. He's gonna have those kids fired up and ready to go. It's definitely a hard nosed team, and they're not scared to work. So they're gonna be, like I said, early on. obviously, God willing, no injuries occurred. That's the team to beat in Division Two.
Oh yeah, they're actually. You're right. They are the early favorites right now, and I asked the boys, and they said they started the conversation off. We're not going to talk, but they ended the conversation off.
Talking, right?
Oh, we want what's ours. We want what was rightfully ours. We're coming to take our stuff back. This, that. And but I don't blame them, man. Talk that stuff. They said we did enough. We talked last year and we got beat.
It's tough not to when you're 16, 17, 18 years old. You know what I mean? Kudos to them. Have some fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's definitely one game I look forward to being at. That's the red letter game, so we'll definitely have to check that out.
When is that game? I got to keep an eye out for it.
I'll let you know. I got it on the other computer, but I'll
Yep.
definitely let you know. The next game, two young coaches, two first year coaches, Coach Mike Washington, been around Central a while, long time Central night. He was on not that long ago talking spicy. He says Central's here, Central's, and I said it sounds like Central's going to go back in the day. Remember that old Central vibe when we were young? Mount Pleasant, Central and Mount Pleasant had some rivalries, and Mike Washington said Mount Pleasant's their little brothers.
Ooh.
He said they're like my little brothers. You know what I mean? He's like that my son. But Coach Addison, I think going to be a great coach here. That's going to be a great game, and they shouldn't be playing this game anyway because they have a great Thanksgiving Day rivalry. Like you can't play that twice in one year. But
No.
anyway, Central's talking spicy.
Yeah, yeah. No, let's see if they can back it up now. I mean, obviously they're the Division One champions from last year. I know they graduated some studs. One of the kids, Elijah Alba, I believe his name is. He's playing prep football up in New York, up in Albany. He's going to a prep school there. Be interesting to see where he lands. But yeah, they like I said, they're the Division One champions. You know what I mean from last year, so they've earned they've earned their right to talk a little spicy, I guess.
Yeah, they definitely do. The next game is not a game. It would have been Bishop Hendricken, LaSalle.
I was so looking forward to this. As you know, my son is on the Hendricken side, and they were as well looking forward to this. And then at first it was supposed to be at LaSalle, then it got moved to Hendricken, which made me even more excited. Um, and then all of a sudden, boom, they took it away from us. So I mean, it stinks, but you know what? Maybe it builds up to uh, a better Super Bowl, kind of like last year. Because last year, same thing happened. They got canceled during the season. Both teams ended up undefeated and in the Super Bowl together. So it kind of like built that moment up. So maybe we'll see the same thing this year. Because I'll tell you now, from what I'm seeing, those two will be the two that vie for the state championship.
And I'm still waiting. I'm hoping Keith Trough will get back to me because he knows I want to chop it up with him about the last 10 championships he has. Last season, I think you guys, if I'm saying it like, scored at least 200 and something points and only allowed 67. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you didn't really allow a lot of points, but, a lot of people say Hendricken builds a machine and it's a Tesla.
Yeah, they definitely got a great program there. They got a good formula working. You know what I mean? So there's been a couple of changes in their coaching staff. I know Coach, as you know, you interviewed him. Coach Mike Green has stepped down, so that shook up a little things within the staff. But we'll see if that changes anything.
Mike Green, great longtime coach. Ryan McCormick showed him a lot of love. Of course, Ryan went to Salve. Mike Green was a coach at Salve, coached with Coach Bell for a long time. Shout out Coach Bell. Mike Green definitely deserved. I'm glad he came on. Great man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
West Warwick Wizard. You know,
We won't hold that against them.
no, we can't. Now he's got West Sweden Orange.
Yes.
Another game canceled. NK going up against Stanley Dunbar, Westerly High School.
Hmm.
Tough,
That,
tough
that
matchup.
That would have been a good one to see. I'm interested to see what NK is going to do because I know last year, because of the COVID issue, Um, Carr didn't play a few games, and so they had to go with the younger quarterback, who was I'm assuming is going to be their quarterback this year. And he actually looked pretty good. He looked pretty solid in some games. So, and now he's got a year under his belt of experience. We'll see what he can do. I mean, NK, they kudos to them. They have been putting out great product now for a bunch of years. They've took Hendricken to the to the limit for a couple of times. I mean, they never got the win, but they made Hendricken sweat a couple of times in the past couple of years.
NK, and I'm surprised more people don't follow their formula, and you really need to write them checks, And Mike Green said he mentioned like you would invite anybody that said Hendricken does what they do. Come to our field. Come watch what we do. But these programs like NK, they're copying what Hendricken's doing. They're spending money. I think they got a beautiful facility. I mean,
Yeah,
if you build it, they will come.
they do. They actually opened up that facility against Hendricken. Um, which
Yeah.
I was surprised they did that. What I mean, but that shows how confident they were in the product that they were putting out, and what a game that ended up being. Early I remember early on, Hendricken pulled away and was up by about 3 touchdowns, but in the blink of an eye, North Kingston came battling back. They only ended up losing that game by about I think 8 points, but ended up being a lot closer than it should have been. But they 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 definitely have it out against them. They turn it up another notch in all sports. It's been a great rivalry in basketball as well recently, and as well as football.
All sports, Rhode Island can ball, like Willie Edwards says, we got a chip on our shoulder. With all these cancellations, I ain't buying that is COVID. These kids ain't ready. These teams ain't ready. They need the extra week, and like I
Hey,
just
could be. We'll see. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. You're right. I'm hoping this is something we're only going to see this week here, and hopefully things get back to normal, and we get back to football the way it's meant to be.
what games are canceled? We're still on. I don't know who you. It only says what
Facebook.
team are you talking about? If you're in a group, it's not going to say exactly who you are. Westerly game is canceled. If that's the game you're talking about, that game has been canceled. LaSalle Bishop is canceled. North Smithfield, they're not playing. What other games? Central Falls East Providence is canceled. So, them are the games that are canceled. It's Mike Murray. No, Mike, I didn't say your game was canceled. We were talking about shout out Mike Murray too. We were talking about you a few minutes ago. No, you guys in St. Ray's. No, we didn't say that, right?
No,
No, I didn't think so. But shout out to Mike Murray. I love what Shea is doing over there. Felix, don't think that you guys should have one high school.
no.
Pawtucket have one high
I
school.
grew up in Pawtucket, and I don't know. It's just an identity thing. You know what I mean? I play for Shea. I play for Tom. It feel a little weird. I know back in the day they used to have Pawtucket West and Pawtucket East, but yeah, I don't see why the need. I mean, they're pretty successful anyway. I mean, Shea's had some great teams. Tolman's had some great teams. It's not like they're struggling individually. You know what I mean? I don't see the need for it, but hey, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, the games that are canceled right now, coach, is LaSalle Bishop Hendricken. That one's canceled. Bishop Hendricken's going to have a scrimmage with East Providence. The other game is Westerly and NK. That's canceled. Central Falls, of course, Central Falls and East Providence. And North Smithfield can't play. Them and Juanita Sanchez. Them are the canceled games. That Shea, like we already said, that Shea game, St. Ray's, classic all the time. Another great Pawtucket classic.
What I would love to see come back is the Saints Tolman Thanksgiving game. It was a shame they did away with that. I don't know. It was one of the oldest rivalries in the country. on Thanksgiving, and they went and did away with it like nothing, just silly.
Yeah, it's great having a rivalry. I'm wondering how this last season affected these teams that have these long because I know Westerly Stonington is tied for having one of the longest ones since like 1911. They were on Good Morning America a couple of years ago.
Hmm.
Yes, one high school D. That's what I said. I said he said put us in D1 everything. Better faculty for our youth in the city. Real way to end the beef between both sides. Exactly. Bring them all together. Facts. And we got too. We already seen what happened. We got too much beefing going on, and let's go. You know what I mean? Let's build it up. You know what I mean? Classical and Hope. Coach McCall down there. Hope. I just heard Hope hired a new coach. Not sure, but I think I heard during the Zoom meeting the other day. Oh, was I supposed to be in that meeting?
Yeah, Hope. Unfortunately, has been struggling for many years. Something's got to give over there. I now, when you talk about teams co-oping, there's a team that should actually, in my opinion, co-op with the Moses Brown. I mean, they're literally, a few feet from each other. I think that would be a great team to unite, and I think a lot of good can come out of that. You know what I mean? Where, like I said, the Shea and the Tolman thing, that's more for, oh, okay, let's put us together so we can dominate. You know what I mean? Which is which is fine. I'm just saying there's not a
coming from a Hawks fan.
yeah, but I'm saying there's not a need for it, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, both teams do fine individually. Um, where
But
where
wouldn't
hope
the
where
city
where
wouldn't the
hope
city benefit?
where hope would that's a program. If they continue the way they're going, you might see that program go away. You know what I'm saying? And that would be a shame. I think they really need to do something to help that program out, and co-oping with Moses Brown. I don't see a negative to that.
Yeah, it definitely is a
What
big.
what were you saying about the? You said you were saying
I
something.
said, wouldn't it benefit the city? You said it wouldn't
Oh, for
benefit.
Pawtucket, maybe. I don't like. I wouldn't know. I don't know the logistics and the specifics of it. Would it benefit them academically? I don't know. One giant facility. I'm sure there would be a monster school. It'd be a great facility. So yeah,
Financially.
financially, maybe. Yeah, maybe it does make sense. You know what I mean? I'd have to hear all those arguments. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, strictly on a sports thing, there's not a need for it. Would it be nice? Yeah, it'd be nice. But if it does benefit everybody academically and financially, then go for it.
Our schools are in horrible shape. I did some electrical work in Shea a couple years ago, and it was down in the basement near the cafeteria, and I was kind of thrown back, like wow, this place needs a major upgrade.
Yeah, I went.
You know,
I went to Slater Junior High, and that was back in the late '80s, and that place was a disaster back then. I can, that's 40 years. I mean, 30 something years ago. So I can only imagine what kind of condition that's in right now.
and what are we gonna do for these like you said, kids getting shot left and right? What are we gonna do for these inner city kids to get them to realize, when Emerson came on the other day, and I was like, it's kind of let me bring Emerson on. I invited a couple other people on because we all know we lost two members of the football family. That graduated. One was in East Providence County, and
Yeah,
the other was a cowboy great.
with that stuff, you know what I mean. It all starts at home. Unfortunately, we have too many broken homes, which creates broken children, and it all starts at home. Um, that's the first place we got to look to.
But what do we do to get them more into school and try to let them know that you got places like Central where some kids on the the OGs from these hoods need, yes, and I talked about that with Coach Washington about, do these teams need more of these old heads, I call them, guys that been around. Maybe
Yeah,
they've been in the
and that's
system.
and that's what I touched on earlier with the guy that they rejected from Juanita Sanchez. They had a chance there to make that into a great story, because I do believe, these guys who unfortunately learned the hard way, what I mean, that they can turn around and give back and preach to these kids that that's not the way to go. Um, but again, these are all little things we can do. But again, the biggest thing is having a mom and dad at home. Like these broken homes, people really we really need to focus on that and somehow um, look into correcting that, because the fatherless home is the in my opinion is the biggest problem we have in America today.
And I talked about that. It's my least viewed podcast. 3 out of 4 homes were fatherless, and he's exactly right. Like, we need to take control of our neighborhood. See, what happened, Felix, was that us people that are authentic, that kind, were raised with integrity. We were late to get on this internet, and then you had clowns like that Hassan Campbell that you see on YouTube teaching these kids this is the new real, and now we're teaching it through the music. Little Nas X, Megan Thee Stallion, like these are your kids' role models. This is what your kids are listening to, and I'm not saying my music was any better,
Hmm.
but like we're just teaching them, like, let's demasculize
But
everybody.
here's the thing too, and again, it points to the fatherless home, because if I'm growing up and I don't have somebody to look up to in my household, I'm looking elsewhere to see what the definition of a man is. You know what I mean? And when society's putting forth, punks like Little Nas X and whoever, that's who the kids are looking to emulate and to copy, because they don't know, where else are they looking to, because
Well,
there's
I remember
nobody at
back
home.
in the day, even when crime was going on, I remember the guys that would really run. I grew up in Manton Ave, down the street from Manton Projects. My wife comes from inside the projects, but the police would always go to a certain guy. Listen, things are getting out of hand,
Hmm.
and they would never allow, because it's bad for business for everybody, and we don't have that anymore.
No, the game's done changed. You know what I mean? I like I said, I grew up in Central Falls, CF, and Providence. You know what I mean? So I know what that street life is about, and it's not what it was. It's today. It's not what it was back then, and you're not going to find what you're talking about. Somebody to go out there and let cooler heads prevail. Unfortunately.
No, you're right, because Providence, I think they collected 1,600 shell casings this year alone. And I think that's a record number. So I just want to do more to try to keep these kids in school. I seen the Central High School kids this year, like they were constantly at their field, and I think they were there because they were afraid to leave.
Well, you know what?
Not afraid of the neighborhood, but afraid of.
Unfortunately, it's not a popular thing. What I'm about to say, but a lot of it has to do with the lack of of uh, of God in our households, in our schools. You know what I mean? If anything, you want to look at and emulate and try to be a better person is by looking at that Bible. And unfortunately, we try as a society too much to replace the Bible with programs. You know what I mean? And there's no foundation when you're building something. When you're building a house with no foundation, it's going to crumble. And that foundation again comes through, you know, having faith in God, having a father at home. These are the big things we need to correct. We're basically trying to cure the symptoms with programs, and obviously we're seeing that that's not. Obviously it does help some, but it's not helping the way we need it to help. We need to address this issue. We need to address it yesterday.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. But I think this was a great conversation we had tonight. We covered the cancellations. We covered just teams not ready. Well, I said that anyway. We covered all the games all the way down for the injury fund. I think that's about it, man.
Yeah,
Uncle Felix.
hopefully next time we have a full slate of games.
Yeah, definitely. And we're gonna do this every week. Check out Uncle Felix's page, Rhode Island Ranked, really picking up a lot of steam. You know, unfortunately, I think he needs a new Twitter page, so you might have to wait for that.
They yeah, they've permanently suspended my Twitter page. They've permanently suspended my TikTok page as well. So I'm down just to Facebook and Instagram now.
Yeah, well, you know what? You just got to create a new email and get some new pages created. And
Yeah.
I s- I seen that lady in Woonsocket. She settled the lawsuit, the mayor, over her Facebook.
Did she?
Yeah, she actually has to let them people on her page, and she can't block anybody no more.
Oh, jeez.
You know, and pay $7,000. But Uncle Felix, thank you, man. Rhode Island football coming. It's coming soon. Injury fund game is here.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you very much. I'll talk to you later. Uncle Felix in the house, man. That was awesome. Yep, I covered what I wanted to cover, man. Thanks for Coach Cook dropping in. Coach Fulton was in the comment section. You know, there was a few others that were in there. But you know, slowly we're gonna build and just keep getting better. Thank you to R&R Elite Recruits. If you're looking to get recruited, go to rnreliterecruits.com. Also, thank you to Mark Wright. This is brought to you by Coldwell Bankers Coastal Homes. Give Mark a call at 401 787 5203. And big shout out to my guy over there on the 400 block of Warwick Ave. Emerson Kilgo, 401 Strength and Fitness. If it ain't 401, you ain't dialed in. And I think that's it.